Hello, welcome to English After Midnight. I'm Alina, and tonight we are going to talk about grammar, but not the way you learned it at school. No tables, no color-coded verb forms, no exercises with blanks to fill. Tonight, grammar lives inside real conversations between real people. You will hear dialogues, the kind that happen every day between friends, colleagues, strangers, family members. And inside those dialogues, you will hear grammar doing what it actually does, not following rules, but carrying meaning. Here is the truth about grammar that most courses will never tell you. Native speakers do not think about grammar when they speak. They learn the language as children, through sound and context and repetition, and the grammar became invisible, automatic, like breathing. That means you cannot learn grammar the way it is usually taught, as a system of rules to memorize and apply consciously. You learn it the way natives learned it, by hearing it used correctly, in context, many times, until your ear knows when something is right and when something is wrong before your brain can explain why. Tonight is about building that ear. We will cover 8 grammar areas, not because I will explain the rules, but because I will show you the grammar working, in conversation, the way it lives in real English. And something will click. Something always clicks, in the quiet. Before we begin, if English After Midnight is part of your learning, please subscribe and press the bell. Let's go. Grammar in life. 1. Present perfect versus past simple. The most confused grammar point in all of English. Here is why, and here is how it actually works. Listen to this conversation. 2 friends, Monday morning. Did you see the new film everyone's talking about? I have seen it, yeah. What did you think? I watched it on Friday. I was completely blown away. Same. Have you read the book it's based on? No, not yet. Have you? I read it years ago, before the film was even announced. Stop. Did you notice what happened? Both tenses appeared, past simple and present perfect, in the same short conversation. Let's look at what each one was doing. Did you see the film? Past simple. This is a question about a specific, finished moment. The speaker is thinking about a specific time, this weekend, this week, a closed event. I have seen it, present perfect. This is about experience up to now, not when, just, yes, it's in my history. The exact moment doesn't matter. I watched it on Friday. Past simple again. Now there is a time reference, Friday, a specific point, closed, done. Have you read the book? Present perfect. Again, asking about experience. No time reference, just, have you done this? In your life up to now. I read it years ago. Past simple. Years ago, a time reference, specific moment in the past. Do you feel the difference? It is not about rules. It is about what you are focusing on. Present perfect says, I am connected to this thing. It is part of my experience. Past simple says, this happened at a specific time that is now over. Here are 3 more pairs. Listen to how the tense changes the meaning. Did you ever go to Paris? Past simple. Maybe you're asking about a specific trip or about someone who no longer travels. Have you ever been to Paris? Present perfect. A question about life experience up to this moment. I lost my keys. Past simple. It happened. It's a fact of the past. I've lost my keys. Present perfect. And this is why I'm standing here looking stressed. It still matters now. Did you eat? Past simple. asking about a specific meal, dinner, lunch, some specific time. Have you eaten? Present perfect. Are you hungry right now? The result, fullness or hunger, matters in this moment. Practice. Say these quietly. I haven't finished yet. She has never tried it. We've known each other for years. Did you call him? I called him this morning. Have you spoken to her recently? The grammar is not complicated. It is two different lenses. One looks at time, one looks at relevance to now. With enough listening, your ear will choose automatically. Grammar in life 2. The second and third conditional. How native speakers talk about things that aren't real and things that could have been different. Listen to this conversation. Late evening, 2 flatmates. If I had more energy, I'd go to the gym tonight. Same. If we hadn't ordered that pizza, maybe. If I hadn't eaten the whole thing by myself. If you were more disciplined, you'd be in better shape. If I were you, I wouldn't say that. Fair enough. Honestly, though, if I could change one thing about my routine, I'd wake up earlier. If you went to bed earlier, you could wake up earlier. That's the thing. If I woke up earlier, I'd probably just be tired all day. This is a perfect, beautiful storm of conditionals, and they are all completely natural. Let's look at what's happening. If I had more energy, I'd go to the gym. Second conditional. This is about now or the future, but the situation is not real. I don't have more energy, so I'm imagining an unreal present. Structure. If plus past simple, would plus infinitive. But listen to how naturally it flows. No one says, in the hypothetical situation in which I possessed greater energy reserves. They say, if I had more energy, I'd go. If we hadn't ordered that pizza. Third conditional. Now we are talking about the past, something that actually happened. We did order pizza. And now we're imagining, what if we hadn't? Structure. If plus past perfect, would have plus past participle. This is the grammar of regret, of imagination, of the alternate past. If I were you, I wouldn't say that. Notice, if I were, not if I was. This is one of the places where native speakers use the subjunctive, the were for all persons, not just plural. It sounds more formal and more correct, but in casual speech, if I was you is also common. Both exist. Both are used. If you went to bed earlier, you could wake up earlier. Second conditional with could instead of would. Native speakers frequently swap would for could, might, should, depending on the meaning. This is not a rule violation, it is precision. Would, certain hypothetical result. Could, possible hypothetical result. Might, uncertain hypothetical result. If you asked her, she would help. I'm fairly sure. If you asked her, she might help. Maybe, possibly. If you asked her, she could help. She has the ability to help. Practice quietly. If I had known, I would have said something. If she were here, everything would be different. If you could change one thing, what would it be? If I hadn't taken that job, I might never have met him. If things were different, but they're not. Grammar in Life 3. Modal verbs, the grammar of attitude. Must, have to, should, might, could, would. These are not just verbs. They are the grammar of how we feel about things. Listen to this conversation. A woman and her friend discussing a difficult decision. You have to tell him. I know, but I don't know how. You must say something. This can't go on. I should have said something weeks ago. You could still fix this. I might just send a message. You shouldn't do it by message. You're right, I know. I'll have to do it in person. It might be easier than you think. Or it might not. Every sentence contains a modal, and each one carries a different weight. You have to tell him. External obligation. The situation requires it, not your choice, necessity. You must say something. Internal conviction. I am telling you this as a strong belief. Must for obligation is often the speaker's own authority. I should have said something. Regret about the past. Should have equals the right thing that didn't happen. You could still fix this. Possibility, option, the door is not closed. I might just send a message. Weak possibility, uncertain plan. You shouldn't do it by message. Mild negative obligation, advice, not command. I'll have to do it in person. Future obligation, no choice. It might be easier than you think. Soft reassurance, uncertainty used kindly. The most important thing about modal verbs, they tell you how the speaker feels, not just what is true. Compare. You must go. I feel strongly this is necessary. You should go. I think it's a good idea. You could go. It's an option. You might go. Maybe, possibly. You can go. You have permission. Same action. 5 different attitudes. Practice. You should try it. You might love it. I must remember to call her. He could have called. He didn't. You shouldn't worry so much. I might be wrong, but I don't think I am. You have to make a decision eventually. Grammar in Life 4. The passive voice, hiding the actor. Native speakers use passive not because they love grammar, but because sometimes who did something matters less than what happened. Listen to this conversation. 2 colleagues after a difficult meeting. The decision has been made. By who? It wasn't said. So the project is being cancelled? It's being reviewed. That's the same thing. 3 people were let go last week. I heard. Nobody was told in advance. These things are never handled well. Count the passives in that exchange. 8 sentences, 7 passive constructions. Now notice something interesting. Nobody is named. Nobody is blamed. The passive voice is being used, consciously or not, to remove the human actor from the sentence. To talk about events without attributing them to a person. The decision has been made. Not, the director made the decision. The actor is hidden. This is passive used for vagueness, for protection, for corporate language. 3 people were let go. Not, the company fired 3 people. Softer, more distant. The action happened, but somehow to itself. Nobody was told in advance. Focus on the people affected, not on who failed to tell them. Native speakers also use passive when the actor is obvious. The thief was arrested, obviously by the police, no need to say it. The actor is unknown. My car was broken into last night. I don't know who did it. The action is more important than the actor. English is spoken in over 50 countries. Who speaks it? Everyone. The fact matters more. To sound formal or professional, your application has been received. More formal than, we received your application. Listen to how the same sentence changes meaning between active and passive. They cancelled the meeting. Active. Blame attached. Someone cancelled it. The meeting was cancelled. Passive. It happened. No one specifically. Professional. Neutral. Someone broke the window. Active. Someone is responsible. The window was broken. Passive. The window is the focus. How, when, by whom, secondary. Practice. The report was sent this morning. She was told at the last minute. Mistakes were made. The building is being renovated. Nothing has been decided yet. These things are never easy. Grammar in life. 5. Reported speech. What people actually say. Textbooks teach reported speech as a mechanical tense shift. Native speakers use it as storytelling. Listen to this. A friend telling a story. So I asked her what was going on, and she said she didn't know what I was talking about. And I said, well, I said I'd seen the message, and she went completely quiet. And then she told me she'd been meaning to say something for weeks. And I thought, why didn't she just say something? I asked her why she hadn't told me, and she said she was scared of how I'd react. And I told her that was fair, but I wished she'd trusted me. This is reported speech in the wild, not a grammar exercise, a story. And it follows the tense shift naturally, without thinking. She said she didn't know. Direct speech. I don't know. Reported. She said she didn't know. Present to past. I told her I'd seen the message. Direct speech. I've seen the message. Reported. I'd seen. Present perfect to past perfect. She told me she'd been meaning to say something. Direct speech. I've been meaning to say something for weeks. Reported. She'd been meaning. Present perfect continuous to past perfect continuous. She said she was scared. Direct speech. I'm scared. Past tense in reported speech. But here is something important. Native speakers frequently break the tense shift rule when the information is still current or relevant. Listen to this. She said she loves him. Technically, reported speech would require loved. But if she still loves him, if the feeling is present and ongoing, many native speakers leave the present tense, and it sounds completely natural. He told me he works in finance. Not worked, because he still does. She said English is difficult. Not was difficult, it still is. The rule exists, but real language bends it when the meaning requires it. Your ear will learn when to bend and when to follow. Reporting questions. Notice the word order change. Direct. Where do you live? Reported. She asked me where I lived. Not where did I live. No question word order in reported questions. Direct. Are you coming? Reported. He asked if I was coming. If or whether replaces the yes-no structure. Practice. She said she hadn't heard from him in weeks. He told me he was thinking about leaving. They asked whether we were interested. She said she loved the idea. He told me he'd always wanted to visit. She asked what I thought about it. Grammar in Life 6. Articles, the smallest and hardest words in English. A, an, the, or nothing. Speakers of many languages find this impossible. Here is how to feel it rather than calculate it. Listen to this story. I was sitting in a cafe, a small place near my flat, when a man walked in. The man looked around for a moment, then sat at the table next to mine. He ordered a coffee and opened a book. The book was one I'd read years ago. I almost said something. This tiny paragraph contains almost every article rule in English. Let's feel through it. I was sitting in a cafe. A cafe, first mention. We don't know which one yet. New information for the listener. A small place near my flat. Still introducing, still describing, not specific yet. A man walked in. New character, unknown to us. The man looked around. Now we know which man, the one who just walked in. Second mention equals the. The table next to mine. Which table? The specific one next to me. There is only one, specific. A coffee. First mention of the coffee. Any coffee, one coffee. A book. New object, not yet identified. The book was one I'd read. Which book? The one he just opened. Now we know it. Now it's the. Feel the movement. A introduces. The refers back to something already introduced or something both speakers already know exists. Can you close the window? The window in this room. We both know which one. We share the context. She opened a window. Any window. First mention. We're watching her do it for the first time. Zero article. No article at all. Life is complicated. Life in general, not a specific life. I love music. Music in general, not a specific piece. She goes to work by train. Fixed expressions. Go to work, go to school, go to bed, go to hospital. No article. But she went to the hospital to visit him. A specific hospital, a specific visit. So, the honest truth. Articles are one of the hardest things in English for speakers of article-free languages. You will make mistakes. Native speakers will understand you anyway, but your ear will improve with every hour of listening, because correct articles surround you constantly, and slowly they become natural. Practice. I had a strange dream last night. The dream was about a place I've never been. She's a doctor. The doctor I've been seeing for years just retired. Open a window, it's too warm in here. Life is short. Make the most of it. He went to school here. The school closed down years ago. Grammar in Life 7. Relative clauses. How to build long, elegant sentences. The grammar that separates a simple English speaker from a sophisticated one. Listen to this description. She was the kind of person who made you feel like the most interesting person in the room. She had this quality, a warmth that was impossible to explain, that made every conversation feel important. The cafe where we used to meet is closed now. The last time I saw her, which was about 2 years ago, she seemed happy. I think about her sometimes. She was someone whose kindness was completely without agenda. This paragraph is built from relative clauses. They are the connective tissue of sophisticated English, the structures that let you expand a thought rather than chopping it into short, separate sentences. The kind of person who made you feel, who for people, a warmth that was impossible to explain, that for things. The cafe where we used to meet, where for places. The last time I saw her, which was about 2 years ago, which adds extra information. Notice the commas. This is a non-defining relative clause. It's additional, not essential. You could remove it and the sentence still works. Someone whose kindness was without agenda. Whose for possession. Defining versus non-defining. This is where many learners get confused. Let's feel it. The woman who lives next door is a teacher. Defining. Who lives next door tells us which woman. Essential. No commas. My neighbour, who is a teacher, moved in last year. Non-defining. We already know who she is. my neighbour. The extra information is bonus in commas. In spoken English, native speakers often drop the relative pronoun when it is the object of the clause. The film that I watched last night was incredible. The film I watched last night was incredible. The that disappears. Completely natural. The person that you need to speak to is called David. The person you need to speak to is called David. But you cannot drop it when it is the subject. The person who called was your sister. Cannot drop who. It is the subject. Practice. She's someone who really listens. The city where I grew up has changed completely. It was the kind of moment that you don't forget. My father, who passed away 5 years ago, loved this music. The book I was telling you about is finally available. He's someone whose opinion I genuinely respect. Grammar in Life 8. Ellipsis. The grammar of what you leave out. The most advanced grammar point and the one no course ever teaches. Listen to this exchange. Pay attention to what's missing. Are you coming tonight? Probably not. Too tired? Yeah, you? Thinking about it. Let me know if you decide to. Will do. Now, let's expand what was actually implied but not said. Probably not equals probably I am not coming tonight. Too tired equals are you too tired? You equals are you coming tonight? Thinking about it equals I am thinking about it. Let me know if you decide to equals if you decide to come. Will do equals I will do that. Every sentence is incomplete. Every sentence is perfectly understood. This is ellipsis, the deliberate omission of words that are understood from context. Native speakers drop words constantly, not because they're careless, but because language is efficient. Once something is established in the context, it doesn't need to be repeated. Saying the full sentence every time would sound robotic and unnatural. Compare. A. Are you going to the party? B. Yes, I am going to the party. Correct grammar, but it sounds wrong. Too full, unnatural. A. Are you going? B. Yeah, probably. Natural, human, real. Common ellipsis patterns in spoken English. After modals. I can if you need me to. Can come/do it. She will if she has time. Will help/come/do it. In questions. Ready equals are you ready? Coffee equals would you like coffee/do you want coffee? Going well equals is everything going well? Dropping subject plus auxiliary. Sounds good equals that sounds good. Looks nice equals it looks nice. Told you equals I told you. Not sure equals I'm not sure. After conjunctions. She was tired but happy equals she was tired but she was happy. I went to the shop and bought bread equals and I bought bread. One more beautiful ellipsis pattern, the dangling to. I don't want to, but I'll have to. To what? To do whatever was just discussed. The to stands alone, holding the place of the entire infinitive verb phrase, and everyone understands. She didn't have to, but she chose to. I was going to, but then I changed my mind. You don't have to if you don't want to. Practice. Coming? Sounds perfect. Not if I can help it. Want to, but can't. Told you so. Should have, but didn't. Better than expected. Ready when you are. Final review. 8 grammars, 1 language. Let's bring everything together, not as a list, but as a feeling. Present perfect connects the past to now. I've been here before. Second conditional imagines a different present. If I had more time. Third conditional reimagines the past. If I had known then. Modals carry attitude. Must, should, might, could. Passive removes the actor. The decision was made. Reported speech tells what was said. She told me she hadn't known. Articles introduce and identify. A stranger, the stranger. Relative clauses build and connect. The kind of person who. Ellipsis leaves out what is understood. Ready? None of this is a rule you need to consciously apply. It is a system your ear is learning. Right now, tonight, in the quiet. Every sentence you have heard this lesson has added one more example to the mental model your brain is building. The grammar will arrive before you call for it. That is the whole promise of this kind of learning. You do not learn grammar, you absorb it. Until one day, you use it correctly without knowing why. And that is when you know it is yours. I'm Alina from English After Midnight. Subscribe, press the bell, and come back tomorrow night. Good night.